Falcon fans. Dirty Birds, what's up? Rise up, Falcon fans.
Rise up.
What's good, Atlanta Falcon fans? Let's talk some Falcon football, man.
Shit. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button one time for the fan. We are back talking Falcons football with the Falcons community here. Episode 155, Apple Podcast, Spotify. A lot going on this season for one time for the fans. So please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Checking in from Facebook, hit on over to YouTube. Bodie 3000 is here tonight. Chase Dirty Fanatics United is here tonight. What are we doing, y'all? This is about to be an epic fucking podcast, I must say.
It's about to be a banger.
Man. So much to talk about tonight. I've been hyped all day, ready to talk some Falcons football. And we wasn't on the podcast on Wednesday. So big shout out to all the Falcon fans that have been waiting till tonight to hear what we have to say about the end of the season of the Atlanta Falcons, just everything in whole of what is going on here with this team. A lot has happened in the past week. But until then, Bodie, how's everything going, sir?
Coach got fired.
Shit.
Enough said. It's out of there, mister. It's out of there, mister. So I'm good though. We good. It's a new era. We can't go no lower than we did. The offense can't go no lower than it was before. So we're gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right. The words of Bodie 3000. Chase, how's everything going for you, sir?
Can't complain, man. Another day on earth. Watching some playoff football today. Wish it was Atlanta Falcons. A little bummed out about that. Ranted about that a couple of times today with some different people about how we should be in the playoffs. But other than that, man, life's good. Living life happy and healthy.
It is what it is here. Falcon fans, you know, Bodie 3000. Glad for you to be here with us tonight. Chase 1000, glad for you to be with us here tonight too as well. No Kiki here tonight. Big shout out to Kiki. You know, we love all of our one time for the fan podcasters. So big shout out to my girl, Kiki. She probably will be joining us soon later on, coming up either this week or coming up next week. But you know, Kiki is also a podcast here one time for the fan. Chat is going crazy.
Shout out Kiki.
Sean's in the chat. Sean Coswell said, "What's up, one timers? Stand on business. We standing on business tonight.
One timers stand on
Hey,
business.
Sean, what's good, brother?
Hashtag one timers. Hashtag the fan club.
I hope you're
in
doing
the chat.
Nobody's saying the fan club. Stop saying that.
Shit,
One timers.
that's tough." Deshaun Coswell's here in the chat. Which female rapper fired shots at Nicki Minaj for her track Black Friday?
God.
Oh, he's
Doja Cat. I don't know.
I don't fucking know either.
Shit. Black Friday? Black Friday? Wasn't that Cardi B?
Say you want to party with Cardi?
Party with Cardi? God, that's tough. Bubba Gump is in the chat. Dropping emoji with the red and black. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. Hit that like, share, and subscribe, Falcon fans. Tag your Falcons friends. Tag your Falcons family. Let's talk Atlanta Falcons tonight. Of course, you know the firing of Coach Smith. What are the Falcons going to do going forward this next season in the draft, the offseason? The comments from Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, too, as well. Where was Terry during the press conference, too, as well? Falcon fans, it's been a week since the Falcons Saint game, so I know a lot of y'all have.
Yeah, I feel like we're the last ones to say something about this.
We are, but that's good. We got a chance to hear everybody's take on it. Of course, with all the information being passed around this week through the media of who could be our next head coach and what direction the Falcons could be going, it was good to take everything in and listen to what you're hearing with this league sources stuff and who's saying this and who's saying that. Because now when we put on our podcast a week later, we really have a chance to look at some things and talk here with the fan base, because the fan base knows a lot here with the team. And that's the good thing about one time for the fans, because we love reaching out to the fans. Right, Chase? Right, bud?
No.
It's what we do. John Moreno said, how about them Cowgirls?
Yeah, they're going to be close too.
I just want to say, them boys crowded that stadium, had them fans running inside the stadium to get blown out before halftime. That shit crazy.
So for those that do not know, if you haven't been to Dallas, a lot of times when they do that, those standing room only tickets is like if you get there, you know, like first come first serve type shit, kind of like how you see now on the patio, Chase. But you move from the patio and they when they walk around. So if you're not on that front row, you might get a chance to get to the front row. Not in Dallas. That shit ain't happening. Those folks get over there to that seat in that spot and they stand there up until the game starts. And it's tough. I think I told you guys the story where I couldn't even get to my standing room only spots when I got to the game after kickoff. The amount of people in that area and the way they had you standing was just kind of crazy because it was just weird. But yeah, when they opened those doors for those Cowboys games, man, those fans run in there to get 30-pieced the way they did early in the game. That's tough.
That's tough.
But there's information though you can get from the Cowboys game because are they going to keep Mike McCarthy? We don't know.
Is Dak Prescott safe in Dallas?
Is Dak Prescott safe in Dallas too as well? Zach Klein reported about an hour ago. He said he would take Dak Prescott here in Atlanta if the Cowboys was to pick up the contract.
CeeDee Lamb looks very, very
CeeDee Lamb too as well. Like these are some of the things you have to look at here in the Falcons because we're going to have a new head coach, Chase. We're going to have a new head coach, Bodie. We'll have a little money to play with. We got some drafts to look at too as well. But there's going to be some new pieces here in Atlanta. And if you look at the Cowboys game, from what the Falcons community is chatting about, are the Cowboys going to keep Mike McCarthy? If they don't, are they going to go after Bill Belichick? Bill Belichick has been linked somewhat in some interest to where? Atlanta. So, of course, that game has meaning to a lot of the fans too as well. Chase, what's up?
Anybody see the Rob Gronkowski interview before the game?
Make sure to talk about that too as well, Chase.
He was just speaking on, Bill Belichick parting ways with New England. And he said that, from what he's been hearing and word on the street is Atlanta's hot for Bill Belichick. So, I mean, I don't know how good of a source that is, but definitely been seeing it on Twitter and Facebook, social media.
I mean, he's probably closest to anything that you can think of. So he knows something. There's some interest, but we'll see what happens. It's
something to look at, Bodie, because you're getting you're doing it. We're going to go over the head coaches in a minute that the Falcons have been interviewing. But if Bill Belichick is the interest, if he is the guy, some of the head coaches that you've been interviewing are some solid names that you could have here as a head coach in Atlanta. Even as of the past couple minutes, Raheem Morris was just talked about on Pro Football Talk, mentioning how he could be. One of the journalists mentioned how he could be actually the next head coach of the Atlanta Falcons too as well. That was almost up to like 10 minutes ago. So even Pro Football Talk is changing the direction where they don't even believe it's Bill Belichick. They think it could be Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
So what's next for the Atlanta Falcons?
Chase? I think tonight's game with this Lions versus LA Rams game, I think this is going to be a big eye-opener about this Ben Johnson if Atlanta really wants to go after him. It's hard to base a guy off of one game, but if Ben Johnson can follow up to what he's done throughout the season and continue to do it in the playoffs as a first year, possibly a first-year head coach next year in Atlanta, this game's going to speak a very, very big part of what goes into that interview. I don't know if Ben Johnson, that's my top candidate. I don't know if he will land in Atlanta, but there's a lot of good guys like Bobby Slowick. We watched him last night eat up, his first playoff experience at head or offensive coordinator. So definitely a lot of good candidates. If Bill Belichick was to come to Atlanta, we're talking about a coach with 6 rings on his finger. A guy that made Tom Brady, you could say made Tom Brady who he is. So, I mean, there's a lot of good. I think either way you look at it, it's an upgrade from last year.
Does the Super Bowl bother you?
Does the Super Bowl bother me? No, because at the end of the day,
Belichick's your next head coach.
We've got to finish our job, and we didn't finish our job. Belichick did his job, something we didn't do. So, is there hard feelings that they came back and whooped us? Yeah, my heart's a little hurt about that. But if that coach can take us back to the Super Bowl and actually win it, it's all said and done. I'm good.
Yeah. Bodie 3000, you mentioned Bobby from Houston, of course, the Lions game, Ben Johnson right here too as well. Some of these candidates are playoff coaches that we're looking at. I think the only 2 or 3 outside of the playoff coaches you've been looking at were Carolina's defensive coach, Evero, and the Bengals, Brian Callahan. I believe that was the other one that you went for too as well. Yeah, the OC. But looking at some of these coaches, like how the Falcons did in the past, they went for Dan Quinn when he was in the playoffs with Seattle. They went for Arthur Smith when he was in the playoffs with Tennessee. So it's possible if it's not Bill Belichick, Chase Bodie, our next head coach is in the playoffs right now.
No doubt.
Yeah, very possible. I mean, yeah. I mean, they got some great candidates, and those guys are gonna get jobs. The OC for Lions, he's gonna get a job. I don't know who, but he's gonna get a job. And it's quite possibly that Slowick is gonna get a job as well for the Texans. They're just hot names, you know. They come up every year, and they're hot for a reason. Them teams are looking A1.
Yeah.
I mean, they're looking great. They're looking great. We say Ben Johnson. I say because they had basically what we had last year. I mean, this year they had
The running
two
back,
backs,
Gibbs,
the
first
tight
round.
end, the receiver. Only thing they had that we didn't was the arm. You know, the quarterback. And best believe if Ben Johnson get here, he's gonna find the arm here. He's gonna get that ball to the guys he need to get it to, and we're gonna get the wide receiver 2 and 3 that we need, and we're gonna be fine. So, and that's my thing. I think we need a offensive minded coach. Personally, I think the defense is fine. It's set up pretty well. Could really, you know, tweak whatever. You know, the guy might want to bring in his own defensive personnel too. If you want to keep Nielsen, that's cool. But we need an offensive minded coach, and I think we're gonna get one.
That's something that sticks. Go ahead, Jack.
No, go ahead, Chase. It's all you, brother.
Something that sticks out to me, you know, as Bodie was talking about keeping your personnel that you already have, as in, you know, Ryan Nielsen and coaches like your offensive line coach, special teams coach. You know, we've already turned down numerous requests to interview certain coach and personnel here in Atlanta. So that there alone lets me know is they're just looking for a guy to come in here and just put the missing pieces together that we're missing in this offense, and maybe a little on defensive end with your cornerbacks. But I think a lot of fans are worried about a guy coming in here and selling the team, getting rid of, you know, your top guys who people love, you know, your Kyle Pitts, your Drake London, your AJ Terrell, players that, you know, other than Drake London, players that are coming up in their older years. I don't see that happening in Atlanta. I think you see a guy that comes in here and grabs that certain piece and just those missing pieces through free agency in the draft, and we try to make a playoff run here.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button. Chase 1000 here, Dirty Fanatics United is here with us. Bodie 3000, of course, is here with us as well. Now, you know, Chase and Bodie, if you're looking at a new head coach, you're probably looking at a new quarterback. I think that needs to be discussed here in Atlanta.
Ain't no probable.
So you're definitely going with a new quarterback. Now, if you're looking at Bill Belichick, Matt Ryan's comments of getting a veteran quarterback here in the building. And Falcon fans, you have to hit that like, share, and subscribe button here. Tag your Falcons friends and family, because what we're saying right here is gonna hit you hard here. There's not that many quarterbacks available this offseason. If you're going with a Bill Belichick as your coach, and he's not going to develop a young quarterback going forward in the 2, 3, 4, 5 years. At Bill is what, 72, 71 right now?
Getting up
71.
There.
He's getting up. Boy, they're getting up there. You got to look at who is this veteran quarterback that could be mentioned. And there's not too many unless you're doing some type of trade with one of these somewhat studs in the league. You're not going to get it too well. You're not Justin Herbert. I don't know if that's going to happen, but let's just say that does happen. All right.
That would be beautiful if it did.
Russell Wilson.
It's only 2 veteran quarterbacks
that seems to be hitting the market.
It's only 2 that we should be having our eyes on. If we don't get any of these 2, we should go the rookie top route. Okay. It's only 2. And y'all know who it is. Kirk Cousins
and Russell Wilson.
That's it.
That's my 2. That's the 2.
And it was possible we could sign one of them and still draft a quarterback.
And that's my thing there, but if you do still sign a vet, I feel like you still go get that first round quarterback and let him sit behind the vet. Something we haven't had the past 2 years that we've seen.
You see the type of shit Green Bay doing when they got a quarterback, they draft one, he sits for 3 or 4 years, and he comes in and just it's just going crazy. They did it. This cycle is working for them. I don't understand why people don't, repeat
because
that.
Because now in the NFL, people think a first round pick must be on the field. A first round pick,
he's a boom or a bust, and that's it.
And it's crazy. It's crazy to think like that. That's not future. That's not.
Pat Mahomes sat down. They drafted him top 10, and he's set for a season. So
the whole season, damn near, like until the last
don't
game.
Fucking listen to all these naysayers and these couch potatoes who think they know every goddamn thing or what's supposed to be high. Yeah, you know. I mean, I don't know everything either, but I'm only preaching what I see,
Mhm.
and I wish people would see what I see. But like, I mean, you gotta carve your own path. You got to. I mean, that's the thing. You got to vet there. You can draft a quarterback behind him, learn the ropes. That's what people don't think about it. They think it either you're gonna draft the rookie, his ass gonna play, or you're gonna have the vet and he gonna band-aid you for 2 years. Like, I would like to see both personally.
Yeah, I would take either one.
Because our
You
team is ready to win now.
Damn sure.
you have Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, Sam
No,
Darnold,
no.
Jameis Winston,
Mm.
Drew Lock,
I
Baker
just threw it
Mayfield,
in my mouth a little bit.
Gardner Minshew, Teddy Bridgewater, Tyler Huntley, Joe Flacco, Josh Dobbs, Eaton Stick, Nate Stutterfield, Blaine
I don't even
Gabbert.
know what we're talking about it, Jack. Miss Pam's been hashtagging Russell Wilson in the chat for the past 3 months now. It's Russell Wilson,
Yes.
damn it.
If you're going to get a Bill
gotta
Belichick
happen.
style, if you're going to get a Bill Belichick coach, I believe you're looking at probably bringing in, and this is for all the people who say, "Hey, he can't come here because of future."
Who is all those
That's
people?
whack.
That's
shit's
tough.
whack.
That's
That's
tough
whack.
to say. That's tough to say in this NFL. But if Bill Belichick,
Hey
who
man,
could
you need
change
to
the
change your
culture here in
sources. Is
Atlanta
somebody saying that shit about that futures? Fuck all that.
What's he
on the
doing? What's he
sidelines,
doing for Atlanta?
Stop.
I see Bill looking at possibly, yes, going after a Russell Wilson. It's very possible here in Atlanta. I mean, you have the money, you're trying to win now. Russell Wilson does put you in somewhat of a little bit better situation than what you had here in the past 2 years here in Atlanta. But still, we don't know the direction of the new head coach. So we have to see what is the style of offense we're getting ready to run with the new head coach. Chase, you mentioned Ben Johnson here with the Lions, who just scored.
Mhm.
Also, the OC from the Houston Texans, who went crazy yesterday with CJ Stroud. You're also looking at Mike McDonald, who was interviewed from the Falcons too as well. The Ravens DC, Anthony Weaver, who works with the Ravens, who's getting ready to be interviewed by the Falcons. Steve Wilkes from the 49ers, who was interviewed by the Falcons. All these names, I mean, come on here, Chase. Right now, you got some real solid candidates.
Yeah. I think it's because
Come in
Atlanta's
here and make something happen in Atlanta.
Atlanta, I would think it would have to be a top 3 appealing landing spot for any head coach. I mean, I feel like we have the overall better talent than any team that's looking for a head coach at this moment. I couldn't think of a team that's more stacked as far as, the defensive side will need a little work because there's going to be a couple of players we don't know if they're returning. But as far as offense, man, your offense is pretty much laid out other than a quarterback. So I really do think Atlanta's got the headway as far as who comes here. I think they got the advantage in this head coach run, and I hope they use it to their advantage. If Bill Belichick's who they want, I just hope they follow the process and interview all these guys and not just settle in on Bill.
So now if you take a different route, Bodie, and go get your young guy, Ben Johnson, OC, who's been working with the Lions here, OC from the Houston Texans, a Raheem Morris. It's possible that with that 8th pick, and we talked about it the other day, Chase, you might even trade up to the 4, to the 5. But the way it's looking in the draft, Bodie, you draft that young, you get that young head coach. He's probably going to draft the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, you get a younger head coach, yeah, he's gonna draft his guy that's gonna grow with him. And if you trade up in this draft, you gotta trade up 3, at least 3, if not 2 or 1. But no, it's got to be 3 at least, because you got to guarantee you one of those top 3 QBs to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Now those other guys are more so projects, and I'm tired of hearing fucking word project because we just spent damn near a year and a half on a project quarterback that did not work out. I'm a little scarred, PTSD. I'm a little shook right now. So I want a guy that has some stuff you can't teach, some stuff that he just it's just there already. Okay, and the makeup, they just need to be coached a little bit just to get on the right path, to learn how to be a pro, to learn how to make this throw, to learn how to do what this in this situation, to adhere to the NFL game. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's all I got, and that's the vibes I got with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud had all this up here. He got the smarts, he got the arm, he got all that. He was ready to go. He was ready. He just needed a little coaching and just to adjust to the NFL speed. And
Falcons
I
announced they
really,
just interviewed Anthony Weaver for the head coach position, defensive line
Anthony
coach
Weaver.
from
Okay,
the
good.
Ravens.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's another young guy. But yeah, what I was saying, is that we just really gotta get to. You made me lose my damn point.
Shit.
Yeah, right here, Jim Harbaugh.
I went straight Pack
Yeah.
McAfee in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh is he's
Nice one. That's a very nice one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I wouldn't see if he likely or not, but
hashtag
anyway.
Jim Harbaugh still has yet to sign his new contract with the Michigan Wolverines. So
Yeah,
maybe.
He got that luxury right now to listen to every team that's
Yep.
interested and he's interested in going to. Same with Antonio Pierce. I honestly think Antonio Pierce is going right back to the Raiders.
No doubt.
Like I said,
No doubt.
I was saying in our chat, that man is from Oakland, California. He grew up listening to NWA talking about F the police, and they all was Raider fans. He's a Raider. That is his dream job right there.
Boys rallied for him there towards the end too. So
there is no doubt in my mind. I don't give a fuck what you hear. I don't care if
Players are rallying behind him.
3 more teams.
Mhm.
He's going back to the Raiders, so that's his dream job. But yeah, I mean, like Chase said, we got the talent. We just need a leader. We need a quarterback. We need a leader. Somebody that it's a different age. That's another thing I want to speak on. It's a different age, and I mean, you can have that disciplinarian, but it's more player freedom nowadays. So I think the player type coach, like the players coach, is more approachable now. Like that's like you see the Sean McVays, the Dan Campbells, all those guys. They play hard for that coach. Like the Rams, you don't think the Rams be that good after they won that Super Bowl and stripped their team butt naked? Like they in the playoffs. So
getting ready to score.
You got to get that player. You got to get that player's coach. But my fear is, I was gonna say real quick. This is the last point I'm gonna make. My fear is that our the guys at the top, Arthur Blank and Rich McKay are stuck in their old 90s ways, and they're gonna go hire somebody, a disciplinarian who, I don't know, to the team that isn't gonna play for a rally around. It's just a different day and age. So
I was just gonna say, Bubba Gump's comment does bring concern to the Bill Belichick situation because you already have fans questioning the Terry move, with Terry not being at the interview. The Bill situation, he's always been his own personal type of GM. He's always brought the players in he wanted. Some fans worry if it would be pushed back even further if Bill Belichick was brought here to Atlanta. Y'all's thoughts on that situation?
William, Amy, real quick. Ryan Nelson was blocked from interviewing with the Jags. Bodie?
Yeah, so I think hold on. So well, you go ahead and answer first. You got it.
For the Bill Belichick with the power of him and Jerry Jones, that's one thing to look at too as well.
Well, I'm speaking about for Atlanta. With Terry, would Bill Belichick still let Terry do his duties, or would Terry kind of be pushed back?
From what I saw, was Bill Belichick wants control somewhat of not only the coaching staff, of course, as well, picking his own coaching staff, but something with the front office too as well. I don't know if he wants to select his own general manager, or he wants to be a part of that process. I mean, Bill Belichick does hold a lot of power as a head coach too as well. I mean, he was with New England for this long, and what he has done with that team is outstanding. But if Terry is going to be here, of course, going for the long run, I don't see Bill Belichick making that move with us keeping our head coaches and not letting them go out there and interview with other NFL teams. It shows that they really are trying to get a guy who can come in and fit what we need right now to just go win. I mean, like you said, Chase and Bodie, the team is built to win right now. Our offenses, we got some weapons on both sides of the ball. Arthur Smith just didn't use them correctly. And that even goes for Desmond Ridder. He didn't even use Desmond Ridder correctly.
One of my reasons why I think Bill could possibly not land in Atlanta, just because, like you're saying, we've neglected, or we've turned down these interviews for our defense coordinator, O lineman, special teams, and that's just a few names. So I mean, I don't see. I mean, personally, I don't see Bill.
Man, that's the
About
thing.
this too as well. What is being asked in these interviews? Are they asking
Exactly.
Bill Callahan, what do you think about Ryan Nielsen? What do you think about Jerry Gray? How could you work with the 8th pick? I mean, what are the questions that's being asked? Because obviously, if you're getting Bill Belichick, his record speaks for its fucking self.
Right.
What question do you want to know? I mean, this guy is one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. The age is what concerns me, because if you're not drafting a young guy, you saw what he did with Mac Jones and fucking Zappy. That shit didn't work. After Tom Brady, you saw what happened. That shit didn't work. You saw with Josh McDaniels when he left and what he thought he can do with the new OCs. That shit didn't work. But otherwise than that, his record is still outstanding. So what are the questions being asked in these interviews? You know what I'm saying? What did Raheem Morris get asked? Because obviously he was with Dan Quinn's coaching staff here recently. And for him to be interviewed to come back to be a head coach, how is his name a candidate? So it's really what are the Falcons doing with this staff too as well? They're keeping everybody.
Yeah, they're trying to hold on to what was winning. Like you said, the defense, the staff on the defense, our O-line coach, they're trying to hold on to these guys because they haven't been the biggest problem. I mean, I do know we need a center. That's a different issue, but still, I mean, they're just trying to really just hold on to that. I mean, it's possible that a new coach will come in and say, okay, I want my own whatever. I want my own staff or whatnot. So I got a guy I think I want to bring in over here. I mean, that's possible, but that's the thing. I think Atlanta will lay out exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to come in and then bring in their guys to probably fix the offense, because the defense isn't much of an issue right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Nielsen came back. Of course, if they're blocking him from interviews, then why would they let him go? Like, I really think they have.
Nielsen ain't speaking out, getting mad about it. Ain't nobody getting mad.
They have some, yeah, of course. He get to keep his job because he did a good job this year. He did a good job. Just need a little bit more help over there, and we'll be golden. So, but yeah, I mean, back to. I don't think I got to answer Chase's question. I mean, yeah, Bill will probably want some kind of power. I mean, that's the thing. Bill is I mean, he's legendary. I don't hold nothing. If they want him here, I don't hold 28-3 against him. I don't hold none of that shit, because he did exactly what the fuck you supposed to do when you're down in a Super Bowl 28-3. You fucking try to come back. What the Cowboys tried to do today. You try to fucking come back. And not too many people can do it, but they did it. So what the fuck can we be mad about that? But there's gonna be people here that's gonna be mad about that. I'm just speaking truth. But you just gotta hold on to the bill situation. It's just lining up. It doesn't seem like that's what it's gonna be. I think it's just smoke and mirrors to me.
The thing about it is, here for Falcon fans in the chat and those that's listening, those that's watching, and those going to be listening, watching later. I mean, it is a little bit exciting. I understand the team didn't do what we needed to do this year, but Chase, we're on the verge of getting a new head coach. We want change here in Atlanta. We have the 8th pick. I know it sucks. Let me tell you something. I know it sucks. Before I go on this little rant, I know it fucking sucks, right? I'm a fan too. We all was here week 1 through week 15, 16, 17. We all was here. We saw the wins. We saw the losses. But like how DSGB Hall said, I want Cousins for one season in Penix. There are fans that are getting ready to look at the situation where the Falcons could draft a young quarterback and still bring in a vet. Maybe this new head coach wants to develop a young quarterback. Maybe we get that Jordan Love style quarterback coming up here in the next couple of years. Maybe we get a CJ Stroud with the 8th pick. People have been talking about Penix. I believe we did a mock draft the other day in one of our group chats. And going to the 8th pick with the way we selected, Penix and Drake May was still on the board at number 8.
Drake May.
So it's possible that you couldn't land Jaden Daniels, Penix, maybe Drake May. It depends on what this new head coach wants to do. Some people say, like you see DSGB Hall, Cousins for one season in Penix. You can learn underneath a veteran quarterback like Kirk Cousins. Some people said Russell Wilson too as well. Some have even mentioned Justin Fields. So we don't know. In the next couple of days, we'll find out a little bit more, but it could be breaking news that the Cowboys fire Mark McCarthy tomorrow morning. We don't know. Opens up their head coaching position.
Yep.
Look how many teams need quarterbacks right now in the NFL. I believe I was looking at it. 6 or 7 quarterbacks is going to be available. That's pretty decent, and about 9 teams need quarterbacks. Somebody finna miss out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Either you're gonna take a shot with somebody's. Go ahead, Chase.
I think your free agency move, your first day of free agency is going to really describe what happens in the draft. As far as, you know, I think your first grab is going to be that quarterback. If you're going vet, you're not going to wait and pick from scraps after what happened this season. You're going to definitely go aggressive from day one, whether that's free agency or draft. But day one of free agency is going to speak a lot about what we do. Wouldn't be upset if you go get a big name receiver in free agency this offseason.
You have
not a damn Raider receiver.
Everything you have for this new head coach is on the table. He ain't walking in here with no $2-3 million in the cap room. We got money to play with.
No more Raider receivers, right?
No more. Shout out to Bubba, because Bubba's got my dream scenario right there. You grab Wilson and then you let Jaden.
That'd be beautiful. That would be beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot.
Going over here to Super Country 85. Big shout out to Super Country. Said, legitimate question. Do you really think off-field distractions call future? Getting Russell Wilson's head if he tries to troll him. And that is going if Russell Wilson does come here to Atlanta.
Russell ain't worried about no damn future. I'm sorry. So what you finna say, Flip? Go ahead.
Future ain't fixing to put us in no Super Bowl. So if Russell Wilson can get us there, I don't give a damn about the future drama. I mean,
he's not worried about
old,
that.
Ain't it? That's old.
What you got to say? What you got to say?
People are going to use that entertainment. They're going to use the future being a major artist here in Atlanta. Russell Wilson coming here. You're going to have the days where Russell Wilson has bad days, and they're going to want to yell out Future's name. You saw what they did to Ritter and Mariota on the sideline. I mean, come on, like
they probably do that now.
Yeah. Even still, with Russell being in Denver, I believe one game this season he went to go play. They were playing Future. I think like an hour or 2 hours before pregame, like every single song was Future. Like, I don't know if it gets into his head or not, that, you know, the situation that he has going on with his relationship and whatever. I don't think he cares about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to win here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm finna not get a quarterback that might be able to help us win here in Atlanta because of a rapper, it's like, what? No. You know? But then again, I'm not the head coach. And the new head coach will come in here and make that decision. But is Russell Wilson a fit that could work here in Atlanta with the pieces that we do have? Very much so. He is a veteran quarterback. He has won in the past. He has had a lot of success in the past. Some people might say, hey, we want Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson, not Denver Broncos Russell Wilson. That Denver Broncos Wilson still put up a shit ton of yards and a shit ton of touchdowns too.
Bad team in Denver.
Yeah, that whole organization, that damn scheme they was running was bullshit.
It just wasn't working for Russell Wilson. Would it work here in Atlanta? We don't know.
And he didn't have the weapons. It just was bullshit up there. So he come down here, run a nice scheme. It just depends on the scheme. Yeah, I mean, you go look at Russell's numbers, and you close your eyes and you look at those numbers that don't even know they're him. You'd be like, damn, that's a good quarterback right there. And then you see this Russell Wilson. Now all of a sudden he had bad numbers and he did. Fuck that. No, Russell is a good quarterback. He's a good bridge quarterback. If we can draft one, I will take him. And fuck that future shit. It don't mean nothing.
Shit, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Getting ready to wrap up this show here shortly. Falcon fans, I know y'all in the chat. Bring your questions, bring your comments. We love talking Falcons football. This offseason is going to be great for all of us because we're going to sit here together. We're going to go over who the next head coach is going to be. Chase, we're going to go over this upcoming draft. We're going to go over free agents. We did this before here, Falcon fans, on One Time for the Fan. We did this before. Oh, Lions about to score again. Go, Ben Johnson. Go, Ben Johnson. One time for the
Run it up.
Ben Johnson.
Yes, sir.
If you're looking at it, Falcon fans, we're in this shit together, right? One thing I do want to talk about, Bodie, Chase, help me out here, is this upcoming draft.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to spend a lot of time in the next couple of weeks, even after we take our break here from One Time for the Fan, after we do our One Time for the Fan giveaway. When we take our little break and come back, we're going to talk draft. But, Bodie, that 8th pick is interesting. You hold major weight with your new head coach. What is he going to do at that time? Oh, Lions about to score again, 14-3. Ben Johnson out there scoring touchdowns. That's what I see. But you're going to have to look at this draft coming up, Bodie.
Mm-hmm.
There are some quarterbacks that are available. Caleb Williams has the big decision to make, I believe, in 24 hours. I believe he has until Chase the 15th.
Caleb Williams, I just want to speak on that real quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it too. Caleb Williams making the comment he's making about, not declaring for the draft unless the Bears trade away that pick. I mean, as a GM or as a team, do you want to draft a player that's like that isn't even in the league yet? He's making this NIL money.
Let's add to that now. Earlier this season, he made some comments about apparently he wanted to have a lot of leeway on the offensive coordinator position and ownership of the team, right? That's what we heard, right?
Yeah.
He said that.
Bodie, you're good for this type of topic. I ain't gonna get
I just think players like that, man, just need to chill out, because to me that's diminishing his draft stock. Me saying he's not gonna go number one, not saying that at all, but me personally, I can't jive with a player like that, so young, with so much cockiness. You haven't won anything yet, bro. Like nothing.
That's very true. And we don't need we don't need no diva. If these are true, allegedly, I'm not totally sure. We read things and stuff, but if that is the case, then that isn't the best. That isn't the best look for me, for our future leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we got to bring in a guy here that's really got his head on right. Just focus on winning. He don't care if he go play in Timbuktu. You know what I'm saying? Wherever. He's just ready to ball. Whoever gets him, he gonna just work his ass off. So that's the type of guy that's the type of work ethic we need in here. So yeah, if I'm a team interviewing a guy before the draft and I'm trying to figure out and I read all this other stuff and then I find out it to be true, then yeah, that wouldn't be appealing to me either, to draft up to be number one.
Chase, coming up with this draft, I know you got a couple months to look into some players, some mock draft situations. What are you thinking right now with no head coach about the 8th pick?
That's a tough question so early. I mean, I know that everybody wants to talk about it because I've talked about it myself on my own channel, and what I've said is, if you sit at 8, I believe Jaden Daniels is there at number 8. I think that's the grab you can make at 8 and still have a guy that's going to be your franchise quarterback. If Arthur Blank is anywhere near aggressive as he was in the press conference about winning now, you could possibly see a trade up to get to a number 1, 2, 3 pick. The Bears have talked about possibly trading that pick. They're talking with teams to see what we would offer. I've seen a possible trade scenario with the Bears, and it was, we'd swap our first round picks. We'd give up one of our extra second picks. That's if Calvin Ridley is re-signed from the Jags long term. And we would give away our first round pick for the following season. So really not losing too much. You do lose a first round pick for, the following year, but it's possible. Blank seems like he's ready to win now, and he wants it now badly more than ever. So I don't know if Atlanta sits at 8.
Yeah. I hope they do something. It's time to find, or at least attempt to get your franchise quarterback. I personally think they need to. Like I said, I'm invested in the top 3 guys, really. Those are the guys that really we trying to swing for the fences for. I know there's guys out here who still need work, like a Penix or a Bo Nix or even a JJ McCarthy. But those guys, I'm not. I mean, me personally, Bo Nix, Bo Nix has came a long way. I sat there. I think I had him. I don't be surprised if his name is in the mix too, because he came a long way from Auburn, where he was butt cheeks, but he went to Oregon and he became something. He showed his ass, and he's got great numbers, and he was up there in the Heisman talk. So
he is like 26. So
yeah, he's a vet. That's the thing. And Michael Penix, yeah, he played a great year. But he did shit the bed in the championship. That's the thing. I think a guy like Michael Penix, watching that damn championship game, he got a lot to learn, especially going to the pros. When he got pressure in his face, boy, he was stumbling and he was just throwing that bitch anywhere. Like he was messing up. So Michael Penix does not need to be a day one starter to me. I think he needs to sit and learn the game from a great mind, a great QB coach, a great OC, a great coach. So, that could be us. 8 might be a little too rich for Penix for me, honestly. Seeing what I saw
Yeah,
in
the
that
other
national
teams.
championship game. So I think the thing is they should be trading up. I think we should trade up, or maybe one of those guys will fall because there are the top 3 need quarterbacks. Well, I wouldn't say the Bears don't even really need a quarterback.
It depends on what they
But
do with
it
Fields.
depends on what they want to do with Fields, how they
Mhm.
feel about Fields. It's going to tell a lot. And if they want to move that pick, then that's fine. Maybe we'll definitely call them. But Washington, if they were smart, they'll get a quarterback, which they should.
I have
And
them on the list to go get a quarterback. Yeah, New England too as well. I have them
and
on
New
the list to go
England,
get a
they
quarterback.
good God, they need a quarterback. So I know they're getting one. So that's
Arizona,
at least
no.
2. Arizona, no. Everybody else, no.
Chargers, no.
I mean, Chargers, no. The Giants, no.
Tennessee, one in front of
maybe,
you got to look at.
Three
especially
quarterbacks back to back
like,
to back.
That's the problem because
Maybe.
the Falcons want to be aggressive. You got to go up to 4 or 5.
No, I'm
and go
saying for
snag
the
that pick.
Titans, man, they've drafted a quarterback in the past 3
That's
freaking
another
drafts.
thing.
And
They
are they
drafted
trusting in
quarterback in, like,
Levis?
the
Are they
third-
trusting in Malik Willis?
That's the
Like,
thing.
are they?
Look,
Will Levis,
Malik
maybe?
Willis was like a 3rd round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Will Levis was a 2nd round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, early
Will
second.
Levis, there's something there with Will
Mhm.
Levis. He just needs to be unlocked. He needs the right coaching around him. But they just fired their coach. The new coach might come in and say, I don't like none of this shit.
Yep. Tannehill's
want
already
my
gone.
guy.
We know that.
Exactly. He was
Willis
gone
hasn't played
before
up
all
to
that.
enough to even be in the conversation, so he might be gone. We
So,
know that.
That's the thing. I mean, one of the quarterbacks might not make it to us because Tennessee picks before us.
Mhm.
And we know that 1, 2, 3 could be quarterback. That's
Yeah.
very possible.
It could happen.
I think Caleb's going number 1. It don't matter who the fuck's picking at number 1. He's going number 1. And I think 2 and 3 are going to be a quarterback, personally. But that
So,
it's gonna be interesting.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. So we were doing a mock draft the other day. If the Falcons, if Fields stays with the Bears, it's possible that the Bears would probably go wide receiver with the first pick, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. Or they find somebody to trade.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
but let's just say they stay
depends on where they trade, where they
trade.
Yeah, Marvin might not be there. Picking Marvin at 1 wouldn't be
That's
the best.
kind of
value.
a reach. Yeah, that's kind of a reach.
It wouldn't be the best value for them.
So one thing you can trade. You could trade back to 5 and probably get that guy. He's going to be a top 5.
Yeah, I think maybe 4 or 5 Marvin might go. Maybe.
So the Bears now, let's just say they just make a pick. We'll find out what it is, but they decide to keep Fields. The Commanders now are on the clock. They go Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So So what are you saying? You saying that Marvin goes first?
I think Marvin goes first. If you keep Fields, you're not getting Caleb.
Okay.
So you go wide receiver with the Bears. Commanders go Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Your next quarterback's Drake May.
Yeah.
Pats are on the board now.
Drake May.
So they go Drake May. So now Daniels.
It could be Drake May or Daniels there. I don't know. It's just according who's
depends on what they like.
Picking, what they like. Yeah.
Okay.
What Gerard Mayo wants up there in New England.
Okay. Arizona's after the Pats. They're not going quarterback.
They're going
receiver.
Receiver.
They might get the kid from UCLA.
Maybe.
Not the kid from UCLA. The kid from Washington. The kid from Washington. Yeah.
He's the guy.
Odusny. What is his name? Odusny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ron Odunze, I think.
Yeah. Chargers are on the clock next. They're keeping Herbert. Keenan Allen's aging.
They might go.
If I was Chargers, I go with Brock Bowers. Personally.
Yeah, Brock Bowers. Yeah, he's top.
That sounds. God damn it, they need to do something. They've been ass. Like the Chargers need that shot.
I forgot about Brock Bowers, man. That's a baller.
The Giants are next.
The Giants.
They getting Daniel a weapon. Daniel's got to have some weapons in New York.
Yeah,
they're definitely keeping Daniel.
They might go to wide receiver from LSU. Neighbors.
Okay.
It's crazy at the amount of teams that need quarterback and receiver this year.
Yeah.
You haven't traded up in our little mini mock draft here. Tennessee is on the clock. You're after Tennessee. Penix and Daniels is still on the board in our little mini mock draft here?
I don't think
Tennessee needs a receiver too. Who's Tennessee's
do.
receiver? They just got a running back last year from TCU.
Hopkins.
Tennessee receiver is Hopkins.
Touchdown Rams.
Tennessee is Hopkins. That's right.
Yeah.
Hopkins. And
So
I
I
don't
mean,
know
but
the
they
other
still need a receiver though. They need
Yeah,
a
he's a
lot.
vet.
Tennessee is
He's a
ass.
vet.
They need a lot. They need a lot.
So Tennessee goes away from quarterback.
I think they're settled in on Will Levis. I don't know. You got a young roster there. That could be a team that attacks a vet in free agency. That could be that type of move.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Falcons now sitting on the board, haven't traded up, haven't been aggressive.
Easy. That's easy.
And now you got Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix on the board
Jaden
in our
Daniels.
mini mock draft at number 8.
Yeah, you
Jaden
go
Daniels
Daniels. That's
all
not a
day.
question. You
Jaden
go
Daniels?
Jaden Daniels. He played in the SEC.
And he would bring some flair to this city. That man can run. That man is fast. That man got an arm too.
The way you're looking at it, even at 8, if this goes in this type of route, Falcon fans, let's just say Daniels goes at 1 and Williams is in the draft. That means Williams slides back now.
They're trading up to grab Williams.
Let's
Oh,
just say
yeah,
Penix goes at 1. Daniels is now sliding back.
And then
Williams is
let
now
me-
sliding back. Let's
let
just say
me
May goes at
interject.
1.
Let me interject.
Talk to him, bro.
There are top tier O linemen in this draft that will go top 10.
Yes.
And
So
fuck up everything.
receivers might slip.
That could be Tennessee's pick.
Quarterbacks
O-lineman.
might slip. O line, there's an O lineman from Notre Dame. There's another O lineman. I forgot his name.
One from Georgia, I believe, coming out.
Yeah, like there are top tier, like damn near ready day one pancake kings who will go top 10. I think at least one would definitely go top 10, but maybe 2 will go top 10 O linemen. So that could push quarterback down, that could push receivers down, that could really, it's unpredictable. I'm really excited.
It is. We've seen it last year, man. We've seen it with the draft last year with the Texans making that early trade in to get CJ Stroud, and then they went and got Will Anderson. That's crazy, and teams see that. And the past few years, it just seems to be a cycle. It just happens. GMs see other GMs step out. They know they got to be more aggressive. So
I can
this
see
is going to be a very
I can see Tennessee thinking, okay, Will Levis got something, so we're gonna work on him. He was a second round draft pick.
Exactly.
Could have easily went first round last year, but he didn't. They get an O line just to help keep him upright, and then they get a coach who can really coach him up. And
they try to get their targets in free
because
agency.
they got some talent in Will Levis. I don't think Will Levis is he gonna have a chance. They're gonna give him a chance.
And if you're looking at it from how even us as fans are looking at it, what is stopping the Falcons organization, who's supposed to be the masterminds behind this whole ordeal? What is stopping them from being in their war room right now, looking at their mini draft board, wondering how they can land a Jaden Daniels, how they can land a Michael Penix? They're doing the shit right now. We know that.
I guarantee it.
They're way ahead of us on the podcast. We're talking about how Daniels can land to us in January. We're talking about how Penix can land to us in January.
That's if he slides, but that's another thing.
Slide.
He may not slide. And 2, we don't know what the fuck the Bears are doing because they could shake up everything.
So many shakeups that can happen in the next couple of days, especially with Caleb Williams announcing in 24 hours if he's going to the draft or if he's not going to the draft. If the Bears are going to keep Justin Fields or if they're not going to keep Justin Fields. If the Falcons are going to trade up to get the guy that they want, or how we just broke it down right here, they don't even have to if they want to go ahead and get the guy that they want. If things fall into the right place, what is Tennessee going to do? Are they going to keep Will Levis? Are they not going to keep Will Levis? The Pats sitting at 3. They probably want their quarterback too as well. The Chargers don't need a quarterback. Giants don't need a quarterback. So the Falcons, they can be aggressive and move to where the Chargers are. It's not going to hurt them. They can move aggressive and be up to the Giants where they are. Not going to hurt them. But we can't talk about these type of things sitting at 19 in the draft. We're sitting at 23 in the draft. We're sitting at 8.
And they're not going
to be realistic.
They're not going to move to where the Chargers are.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing for me, bro. If you do happen to trade up to number 1 pick and you give away your first round pick next year, we're a win now team, correct? I mean, you're not expected to even be a top 20 draft pick next season. So you're really not giving away too much value there. So, I mean, I think you really see the Atlanta Falcons get really aggressive this offseason and possibly make that trade with the Bears. The press conference I watched with the Bears GM, he seemed really, really confident in giving away that first round pick if the right offer came across the table. So I think Terry sees that. I think Rich McKay sees it, and maybe it happens.
cool thing about it is, Bodie, agree or disagree, Falcons can be aggressive by moving up even 2 spots to get their guy. That's being aggressive at the 8th spot. It's not like you're trying to get to number 1.
And that's going to happen on draft night. It's not going to happen before.
Right.
So that's the thing. And so I mean, they're going to be aggressive. That pick next year, not this year's pick, the pick that we would trade away next year to move up, I don't expect to pick 8th again. I don't expect to go 7 and 10 again. Okay, that shit ain't happening. We're not. We're gonna be better.
We're in a playoff game.
Okay, we're gonna be better. That's the thing. We're gonna be better. I don't give a fuck about that pick next year. We're not gonna do what the Panthers did and trade it away and get number 1. It's not gonna happen.
Falcon fans, you hear it from Bodie, you hear it from Chase. We really believe in this team and this organization. It sucks that the team did what they did this year, going 7 and 10 and having this 8th pick and not,
the third straight season.
It's tough.
7 and 10 for the third straight season.
Firing the coach
for the third straight season. That's how mid coach was.
Yeah.
No GM at the press conference with Arthur Blank and Rich McKay too as well. Fans start to speculate what is going on between the relationship there. What is going to happen this offseason? Who's going to be the next head coach? Between now and the next podcast Wednesday, we could have the new head coach here in Atlanta. We do not know, but I guarantee you this. The head coach is going to be in this building within the next 60 days in Atlanta because the fucking draft is coming up. Off season's coming up. Free agency's coming up. And you're not doing this shit March 23rd, bringing in your new head coach. No, your new head coach is somewhere.
Next month. In the next month, you'll have a head coach.
Yeah,
best believe that because moves have to be made now. And we are a win now team. Chase, you said it. Bodie, you said it. We're a win now team. So for Falcon fans in the chat, we're going to come back this Wednesday. We're going to talk about this upcoming schedule. You have the of course your division rivals, but you also have the Cowboys, you have the Giants, you have the Eagles, you have the Commanders,
probably
the Chiefs.
One of the hardest on paper.
You're gonna have this. Whoever's coming in here to lead this team next year, we better bring in the right players because I'm telling you, this schedule ain't no joke. We got to come out there and be at our strongest next season. And Bodie, you said it. You do not expect to pick in the top 10 next year. I don't expect to pick in the top 20 next year because you should be able to go out here with your new quarterback, your new head coach, whoever it is, and go beat the Steelers, go beat the Seahawks, go beat the Commanders, go beat the Vikings, go beat the Broncos, go beat the Raiders, and go beat your division rivals and make the playoffs. You're going to have those competition with the Chiefs and, of course, the Eagles, and, of course, even the Chargers is going to come in here and give you some competition too as well. But your team has to be strong, Chase. Next season is going to be a battle.
For sure.
It's going to be a battle.
Next season is going to be fun. Because our offense is going to be
blistering, son. Throwing up 40 every game. Damn it.
What'd you say? We can't go no lower than last year. Our offense is going to be good next year. I have no doubt.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button. Bodie 3000. Any shout outs for the night, sir?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody watching the show, man. Shout out to whoever our new head coach is out there. Is probably playing tonight or probably out there.
Yes,
tonight. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you boys, man. And it's a new day.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be an unpredictable offseason. It's just gonna be a lot of moves made. We're gonna have a new starting quarterback, and it's gonna be fun. So rise up.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Big Glow Country Sports, happy birthday to you, sir. See you in the chat. He said, Bodie, you got that photo on? You got that photo? What up with my photo, homie? Shit, not in the chat.
I don't even know what
shit, God is working.
Happy birthday, dog. He's a fool.
That is tough. You know Stephen A. Smith ready for this. Anthony White, all I heard that young teams and young players can't win in the playoffs, but I just saw the youngest team, Packers, and a rookie quarterback, Stroud. A lot to talk about going forward. Some will say you don't know if you can win with a rookie quarterback. We don't know if we can win with a veteran quarterback. Well, somebody's winning. Hell, Jared Goff is playing Matthew Stafford right now in the playoffs too as well. Chase, any shout outs before we go ahead and get up out of here, my brother?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. If you haven't already, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Shout out to y'all boys for putting out another show. Shout out to God for letting us do what we do, man. We couldn't do it without him. Shout out to everybody here that's left a comment. We couldn't even do the podcast without you people. So shout out to y'all. And shout out to my little podcast, man. If you haven't checked us out, head over to Dirty Fanatics United. Hit the subscribe button over there, Falcon content. And yeah, man, have a good week.
there's supposed to be this amazing podcast this week with Dirty Fanatics United and some other content creators. Are we bringing together? Is everybody joining forces this week here, Chase, on the channel? What's
Yeah,
going on?
so Friday afternoon, we're gonna have a multi podcast where we bring on a couple Falcon content creators and just get their opinions and views of this season, their off-season views of what could happen. It's just always good to talk Falcon football and get different views on what could happen this off-season. So I believe Out of Your Falcon Mind will be there. Jack, I don't know if you're there or not.
I'll be there.
Bodie, if you have the chance to stop by, stop by. I believe A1's going to be there. A couple more. There's a lot more in the group chat. I got Uncle Steve's going to be there. But it's a couple people, man. So shout out to everybody that's going to be there. Check us out. It's going to be a good episode, man.
It's going down in a major way. April Showers said, please vote April Showers NFL Fan of the Year. www.nflfan.com/fan of the year. Need the home team support. Appreciate you all in advance. April Showers, one of our special guests here on One Time for the Fan earlier this season. Big shout out to her on her journey to be the Fan of the Year 2023 or 2024. No, 2023 NFL Fan of the Year. She won it for the Atlanta Falcons. Now she's going to go win it for the NFL. You see it right there on the screen. Falcon fans in the chat, support. Anthony White is here too as well. He said the Falcons organization needs to get their stuff together. And it starts with ownership, down to the front office, down to the players. Tired of seeing everyone do something except the Falcons. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We will be back this week talking a lot on what. Oh, Lions just scored again. Talking a lot on where's the direction of this Atlanta Falcons team going. And I know Bodie has a lot to say this offseason. Chase has a lot to say this offseason. And, of course, Kiki, too, as well. A lot of special guests will be bringing to the podcast, so stay tuned for that. And of course, we have a short little break we're going to take after the season is over, right after the Super Bowl. Just so we can
shorts will be coming.
Keep up we got a lot going on. So much content going on before then, and of course, after we come back from our break, we're going to have a lot more content too as well. A new head coach here could happen in a matter of hours, matter of days. Whatever the decision is going to be made in the offseason with the free agency, some of these players coming back, some of the players that's leaving. It's going to be a big offseason, y'all. Bodie, you're going to be excited. Chase, you're going to be excited about it. Shout out to everybody here in the chat. Shout out to all the Falcons friends, Falcons family that we know. And stay blessed, y'all. Rise up.
Hey, turn down, man. Rise up.
Money.